This is the John Cooper Works MINI Countryman. There are a lot of interesting things about this car, the least of which is its size, but we're gonna get into it right now.
Technically, its name is the MINI John Cooper Works Countryman. That is a big name for a little car. And well, it's actually not so little anymore. It's bigger in almost every dimension from its predecessor. I'm curious to know in the comments if you even think it can still be called a Mini.
The MINI Countryman rides on the exact same platform as the BMW X1 and X2. That's not all that it shares with it. It actually gets the same engine. It's a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This one, though, makes 313 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. And I gotta tell you, even though this Mini has gotten a little bit more maxy, that feels like plenty of power for this thing.
Acceleration won't get you into the Earth's atmosphere, but I felt it had sufficient giddy up for what it is. This car has something called go-kart mode, and truth be told, that's exactly what it feels like. The car downshifts to give you a little bit of a bump, and the shifts with the transmission are a little bit sharper.
Something you may not know about MINI, they do have a racing history. They actually won the Monte Carlo Rally in 64, 65, and 67. We may have heard a rumor that John Cooper Works specifically are getting back into racing, but it was just something that they sort of hinted at. We'll see what happens.
Overall, the John Cooper Works Countryman is not an unpleasant driving experience. The ride does feel a little on the racy side, but it's still not uncomfortable for a daily commuter. Steering is fairly unremarkable, but it certainly does the job adequately. And the brakes have enough stopping power to give you confidence even in the rain. And this is the all-4, which means it's got all-wheel drive, so you do get some extra grip at the corners for inclement weather and on twisty roads, which I had both. So let's talk about the interior for a second, because the interior is a lot of the driving experience. It gets a red and black theme, which is a nod to Mini's racing heritage. That's good. I appreciate that they're using recycled materials in here and trying to give it different points of interest. There are a fair amount of hard plastics, but I expect that even in an entry-level premium car. The 9.4 round touchscreen looks as fun as the car, but for me, the novelty wore off quite quickly. All of your information is on this one screen. Yes, the head-up display does replace the gauge cluster, but literally every other piece of information from the tach to the speed, gas mileage, are all on this one screen. The folks at MINI give you 8 different themes or modes from which to choose depending on your mood. But my guess is that you're not going to be toggling through these all the time and that you're going to stick with one and stay there. Is it too much? Is it overkill? I don't know. I'll let you decide. Maybe tell me in the comments.
The MINI Countryman has the same operating system that BMW uses. It's their OS 9. I'm experiencing exactly the same thing here that I was when I drove the X2. The processor is slow. Things feel a little bit laggy. I am really hoping that over the course of the next year or so, they improve that, but things remain to be seen.
This is definitely a car that's being made for a younger demographic and for the Chinese markets, so the cutesy animations will work there. I'm just not sure or convinced with how those are going to go over with American car shoppers, especially for ones that are looking for a sportier version of the car like the JCW. But I'm certainly curious to find out.
A couple of things about how it feels to drive this car. The seats are very comfortable. I initially like the way that the interior looks. I will say this though, the dash is a little bit busy. There's kind of a lot going on, and as much as I think there are a lot of points of interest here, there is an element of distraction that goes on when you're in the driver's seat. The MINI folks told us that there are 30 different bings and bongs and noises and notifications in this car. The MINI product folks told us that that was kind of a cool thing. I'm not 100% convinced that that's a selling point. There's a lot of communication that happens with you in the interior of this car. Boop, boop, bing. It's a little nuts.
That being said, you can turn off all of those chatty things if you wish. As for the exterior design, I'm going to let you take a look at this and let me know what you think. Personally, I was a massive fan of the original, and this has gone quite far afield. However, if this is your car and you're the person buying it, then the only person that the looks matter to is you. Surprisingly, gas mileage numbers don't look devastating for something so upright. So it looks like the designers definitely got it right.
For a 4-cylinder engine, it actually has a pretty racy sounding exhaust note. Yeah, they do pump a little bit of artificial sound into the cabin, 100%. But it really does add to a fun and enjoyable, a little bit of a racy driving experience. If you are ready to pull the trigger and buy one, click on the link above. Kelley Blue Book can help you find a fair purchase price.
If safety is something you're concerned about or you're buying this for your teen, it does come with a suite of standard safety features as well as an optional driving assistant professional package that supports level 2 autonomous driving. Pricing on the MINI John Cooper Works Countryman starts at $47,895. That includes a $995 destination charge, and it will hit dealers this spring. That is definitely in the premium realm when it comes to competitors. If you are cross-shopping, look at the BMW X1, Fiat 500X, Audi Q3, Volvo XC40, and maybe even the Lexus UX. Some things to like, yes. Some things on which to improve, sure. But overall, the MINI John Cooper Works Countryman has a good foundation for a solid first car, though that price point might be a bit cost prohibitive for a new buyer. But it does the basics well and throws in some youthful exuberance while it does it.
As much as I would have preferred a day that it was not raining and maybe not a day when there's a ton of traffic on these fun windy roads, I'm gonna say that I still would fully endorse you going out and buying a John Cooper Works Countryman. I'm really enjoying this experience. And another person you may not know that had a MINI, obviously not this one, but Enzo Ferrari was the owner of a MINI. That guy knows a thing or two about cars, so this probably wasn't all wrong. Anyway, if you have a small compact SUV on your list of things to buy, I would 100% go and check this one out.